puppy.
Hey, hey, hey.
What's up, man? How you doing this? How you doing this evening?
Exhausted. Been doing yard work all day. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You've been doing yard work all day. You've been doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
You don't the kids. No one else to help you.
Nah, they too young for all that.
Oh, okay. Let's get into these questions, Auntie. Right now, I want to know what you think. So,
Uh-oh.
do childless men between the ages of 25 and 40 prefer to have children with women 35 plus or women in their mid 20s to early 30s? What do you think, honestly?
Probably 20, mid-20s.
Why do you think that they prefer to have children with women in their mid 20s to early 30s?
I don't know. I think this guy I work with, um, I don't know. It's just, he said he just wanted somebody younger.
But as a woman, um you can acknowledge that, like, as y'all get older, your eggs reduce. The amount of good eggs that you have
True.
reduces. We know about geriatric pregnancy. We know about women getting older and having more complications and just birth defects when trying to
Yep.
have a child.
That's
And
true.
there are a good amount of men that are aware of and privy to these things. So, with that being said, what sense logically would it make for a man that's trying to have a child to go and seek out a woman that's in like 35 plus and not a woman that's in her mid 20s to early 30s? Can't hear you, Miss Renee. Your audio is out.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I'm thinking, I'm just guessing. I think it's probably going to be the mid-20s, early 30s as a preference.
But like, as far as what I said about like the whole woman getting older and the childbirthing process, if men are aware of that, doesn't it only make sense for them to want to pursue younger and women who they perceive to be more fertile?
True. Yeah.
Okay. So do
That's
you
just
think,
nature. That's gonna come natural. That's nature.
right? So do you think most men between the ages of 25 and 40 that date older women, and when I say older women, I'm just talking about like women that's 35 plus. Do you think that men that date older women have serious long term plans with them? Do you think most of them
Uh,
do?
nah,
You
nah.
don't?
Um, from what I'm seeing around where I live, no, no, it's just for fun.
Because most young men see like getting with older women and dating older women more as a thrill than
Yep,
like something
that's
actual serious, right?
and I know females my age, they're not really looking to be with somebody that young.
Younger,
Yeah,
right?
it's just it's not compatible.
Right. Okay. All right. So, do you think a woman's education, her accomplishments, her career success, etc., increases her marriage prospects in a man's eyes?
From a man's perspective,
Yeah. Do you think a woman having all of those things, do you think that that increases her marriage prospects in a man's eyes?
probably, but men are physical, so it's a benefit for sure.
Yeah, like if but like, okay, like you said, men are physical, they're like visual. So if a man doesn't even find a woman attractive, then all of that stuff is not even going to matter then, right?
Nah,
Right.
nope, nope.
So
E-
go ahead.
Everybody wants something to look at. I'm gonna
Right.
be real.
But also, Miss Renee, what there's no correlation between a woman's degrees or her career with how she is as a person or how she would be as a partner in a relationship. And this is for like both men and women. Can you agree to that?
Yeah.
So with that being said, but especially for like the way men look at women, with that being said, what like I said, if he finds you attractive and he wants to date you, he will respect it and appreciate it. But also him being a man and him knowing he's supposed to be the provider and protector, like what does all of that stuff really mean in the grand scheme of things? Like how do you think most men see that as a deciding factor on if they want to date a woman or not?
Well, everybody wants to be have goals. I don't know if any guy, any woman or man wants someone that's not driven.
Right.
So I think it's a beautiful thing to have compatibility with somebody that's driven, have goals, successful, and it's even a bonus if it's a high piece of booty, something good to look at. So it's a benefit, and it's a for me it'll be a blessing if I ever see that. I've never even had that in any of my relationships where my partner was I'm not gonna say stable, but successful.
Mm-hmm.
Always in and out of jobs. That relationship, he was in and out of jobs. Another relationship, he got booted out the military. So I haven't seen anybody steady from experience, um, successful and consistent. So I think it'll be a beautiful thing if you have all that, and plus somebody that's physically a 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, no one just out here just wants to date someone that, like you said, isn't ambitious, doesn't have any drive, doesn't really have anything productive going on for themselves.
Exactly.
But but at the end of the day, Miss Renee, at the same time, like a woman having her master's or her PhD or whatever, that still has no correlation. Like, cause like Mariah was on here earlier, and she was just talking about how she's
Dang, I miss
40.
Mariah.
Yeah, she said that she's dated younger men that had these degrees and was working in these different careers, but they didn't have emotional maturity in the relationship.
Right, right.
So it doesn't matter about your degrees and stuff at the end of the day. How are you as
It's
a
all about
person?
compatibility. I mean, you want
Right.
somebody that's mentally stable, emotionally there, and just present in a relationship. But I'm gonna say to each their own. I don't want to throw the age around, but most women our age, we're looking for someone around our age. If we looking for a toy, we'll probably look for someone younger, definitely. But yeah,
Okay. Um. Okay. So for the last question, so we have a beautiful 25-year-old woman and we have a beautiful 35-year-old woman. Um. And the man, the man again, he's between the ages of 25 and 40. Um. The man is childless. Both of the women are childless as well. But the man, he's not focused on having kids right now. He's not focused on getting married right now. He's just focused on building himself up. um when he gets to his early 30s or maybe mid 30s, then he eventually does have plans to start a family, have children, buy a house, do all that good stuff, but he's not trying to do it right now.
okay.
Who do you think, what between the 25-year-old woman and the 35-year-old woman, who do you think has more prospects for serious long-term relationships?
For a man that's 25.
A man between the ages of 25 and 40 that is childless, even though eventually he is going to want to have children and a family. At this point in time, at this point in time, he's focused on building himself up. But these are the men that we're talking about pertaining to these women in this example. Which one of these women do you think has more prospects for serious long-term relationships?
The woman that's 35 for sure, because at 25, you're probably just getting your feet wet in your career, just getting out of college, whatever you chose as far as a career path. So I would say the 25-year-old,
You said the 25 or the 35?
20, well, the 35-year-old, I'm sorry.
but Miss Renee, people like realistically, people is not like. I mean, this happens sometimes, but for the most part, people are not people are not like gonna meet each other tonight and then next month decide that they want to get married to each other and be with each other for the rest of
Oh
their life.
yeah,
And
true.
that 35-year-old woman that is childless, there's a dating process. There's getting to know people, and then the man's gonna decide, eventually make a decision, if he wants, if he wants to be in the relationship anymore, if he does want to be in the relationship, if he wants to get married to the woman. So a man that eventually does want to have children, like I said, and have a family, why would he choose the 35-year-old over the 25-year-old?
I mean, a 25-year-old may not be ready, but the 35-year-old, she might be settled and ready where she is at her age. So a 35-year-old may be ready
But but
as
he's but
opposed
he's
to a 25-year-old. But
but the
physically,
25-year-old
it's a
has more time to
disadvantage,
waste.
huh?
The 25-year-old has more time to waste. She has, like, even if he wanted to date her for 5 years.
But what if the 25-year-old isn't as healthy as a 35-year-old? I've seen a healthy 35-year-olds and a 25-year-old look like she's 60. So it goes with health when you're talking about having a family. But of course, with me, you got to give me 2, 3 years before I even entertain anything serious. So for the most part, I would say that 25-year-old may not be ready.
Yeah, but the man's not trying to have kids right now. He's just
But
trying to.
he's definitely going to choose that 25-year-old. But I'm thinking the 35-year-old, she's going to be settled, um, probably close to retirement. So she's probably going to be ready to have kids. And if he's not ready, that's going to be a breaking point for that relationship.
But like you said, you need 2 to 3 years before you even start thinking about doing like serious things like getting engaged or being married. So that 35-year-old woman, if she's like you, she's not going to be 37, 38 until she even starts thinking about doing, being in some sort of like long-term committed relationship. So now she's 37, 38 years old, childless. So now that whole process of having children and those conflicts, that's only increased now.
Yep, true.
So 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 I just don't see how the 35-year-old would be chosen over the 25-year-old. It's different if the man doesn't want to have any children and he feels like the 35-year-old is just, more mature, more emotionally intelligent or whatever. But if he actually does want to have children and start a family, and one day, and get a house and all that, I personally think, and we can agree to this, I personally think he's going to choose the 25-year-old woman. I think just in general that men prioritize, like, more younger, youth and beauty. I think men prioritize that over. I think a
Yeah,
lot of men prioritize that over age and maturity. That's just how I personally feel, though.
yeah, that's true. That's true as well.
But you have 2 kids or 3 kids?
Two.
Okay. When and I don't know like what the like age gap was between when you had your first and your second, but all the women that have been on here tonight have said that their the bearing process and the recovery process was easier for them when they were younger than as opposed to like as they got older. What about what was would you agree to that or would you disagree to that?
No. You mean the pregnancy and then post pregnancy?
Yes.
Well, for me, I didn't have any issues in my 30s. I'm 43 now, so it was planned. We both agreed at the time. For me, I was still working out, going to work during my pregnancy, and afterwards, I started working out. So it no issues there. It that part varies from female to female as far as recovery. Each pregnancy is not going to be the same. I mean, some I've seen females running track pregnant. So it varies from
Really?
person to person. You got some that's high risk pregnancies, so that part varies from female to female. You got some people who, I don't know, act like they dying during pregnancy. So me, I had to stay active.
Okay, so Miss Renee, one of the rebuttals that these women that were basically saying, disagreeing with what I was saying like earlier, like this morning or last night, was that, because of the technology and stuff today, there's a lot of other different ways for women to have children and later in life, and which there is. But Miss Renee, the reality is that most of the average women, most of the average couples, they can't pay for like the yearly cost of freezing their eggs, and 8 or 9 out of 10 cannot pay for a surrogate. And you know
Yeah,
what's interesting is that even with the whole freezing the eggs thing, the what does this say? Hold on, I got it in front of me right now.
yeah, that's not even a thought for me. But to each their own.
It says let me read this to you guys. Egg freezing costs are expensive. A single cycle can average anywhere from $6,000 to $20,000. That doesn't include the $500 to $600 yearly storage costs. But even with that high cost, there's no guarantee of success. Egg freezing success rates remain low. So even if so, most people can't afford to pay it already. Even the people that can't afford to pay it, the egg freezing rates are still low at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not even. I would never consider that. That's not even an option. But, I mean, to each their own.
But why not though?
Freeze your eggs. That's not. Let nature take its course. I mean, just let nature take its course. That's me. Get up, get that exercise in. Do to do.
Would you I mean, but like, are you done having kids?
I thought about having one or two more, but I'm on the side of no. Like I'm just in a place, in a content, happy place right now. So right now I'm like no, but the my ex, he wanted another son, but I wasn't ready.
Okay, what do you have to say to what Amira just said? She said, but your eggs from your earlier years are more viable. She said they're not just freezing them for fun. So, you know, what do you I mean that and that's true that the woman's eggs, like we said, as she gets older, her eggs reduce and her viable eggs, her good eggs reduce as well.
True.
So I mean, I know you said you're not into that, but like what do you have to say to that though?
Well, it's not an option for me. Like I said, to each their own. That's just something, not whether I can afford it or not. I wouldn't consider it. It's just not for me.
Okay. But do you think? I mean, for a woman that like for a woman that has kids or that wants to have kids, do you think it's kind of
But I don't get
um,
why she's making a comment. They not freezing them for fun. I mean, women, couples gonna do what they do. So I don't. That's just not an option for me.
basically Black Jesus? What's up with you, dog? Can you request if you can basically Black Jesus? But Miss Renee, if it's proven, if it's a reality, if it is a fact that the older woman gets, like I said earlier, the more complications she's prone to experiencing, birth defects,
Yeah.
child being born prematurely, child being born unhealthy. Why, like, what sense does it make for like a man to want and to like seek out an older woman to have children with? And do you think it's even like responsible, if you will, for like older women to even be trying to have children knowing that?
Okay. And again, to Amara, as I stated earlier, I said to each their own, meaning it's not an option for me. I'm a nature girl. That's not an option for me. I'm speaking on myself.
Marty,
Everybody have their
Marty,
own opinion. and what they want
Hello.
to do.
Food is here.
Can he mute, or do y'all want me to bounce out?
No, don't bounce. Oh, he muted. He muted. Um,
Yeah, I'm like I said, to each their own. I'm talking about me. Everybody relationship is not the same. For those who go that route, to each their own. I applaud. I don't judge. I don't. That's their business. Like that's just not for me. For Renee.
Do you mind if I chime in?
yeah. Hey, how old are you, brother?
I'm 41.
41. You have any children?
I do. I'm
Okay.
a
Hey.
divorcee with 3 children.
Okay. Hey, I would like to go through these questions with you. You're the first man that's gotten on here tonight. Miss Renee, you can stay in here if you want to as well, Miss Renee, and challenge anything you hear him say if you want to.